everybody. Welcome to the Bluegrass Spinner podcast. My name is Christy, also known as Crowneck Girl on Ravelry, YouTube, and Instagram. You can also join our Ravelry group at the Bluegrass Spinner podcast on Ravelry. I have a lot to talk to you about. Oh my gosh. This month, I feel like, has just been a total whirlwind. I've had a lot going on, a lot of planning, as I mentioned in my last episode, which my business plans are going well, which I'll talk about that later. But in the last time that I saw you, I've had 5 events to go to. I've had life deals going on. Oh my goodness. Crazy knitting time and spinning time. Whew, it's just been crazy, to say the least. I did want to do introductions, which I'm very sorry I missed doing those last week. Okay, so I gotta explain this to you guys. When I record, there's always something that happens. Whether it's tech stuff or I get interrupted way too many times, or just my mouth just stops working and I'm through it. So I end up re-recording multiple times before you all see the actual episode. And in that process, I always forget something. Because I'm like, oh, I already talked about that, but in reality, I have it on the actual recording that I'm going to end up keeping. So, I'm going to try to keep this in one recording, if hopefully all goes as planned. It hasn't happened yet, but I'm hoping it will this time. So, I did miss introductions last week, and we did have somebody introduce themselves for the last podcast, and that is Mindful William. His name is William, and he's from Boise, Idaho, and he gave me some lovely tips and critiques, and which I really appreciate. So thank you for introducing yourself, William. And then also, I have it up here on my screen. See, I have everything right in front of me so that hopefully I can keep all this straight. Also, since then, we have had Anne Fran 25 introduce herself. Her name is Anne. She is from North Carolina. And she also has a podcast. I've only watched a couple of episodes so far. I'm trying to catch up on all my episodes of everybody. And her podcast is the Left Field Knitter podcast. So go check her out on Ravelry. I'm not sure what her YouTube name is called, but I know she has a Ravelry group, so you can definitely check her out there. And it's a good podcast. Like I said, I've only watched a couple of episodes. I'm trying to catch up. But from what I have seen, I like it. So, there is that as well. Happenings. Oh my goodness. I have had the week of craziness. And I keep waiting for the third thing to happen, because everything happens in threes, right? Well, first, my cell phone died. I still don't have a cell phone, which I'm like, oh my goodness. No cell phone. I never realized how much I'm dependent on my cell phone until I don't have it. Now, I don't have a techie, high-tech smartphone or anything like that. My phone literally just does dialing and texting. That was it. But I still, I still find myself needing it sometimes. I would love to have a smartphone, but, I don't think that'll ever happen. But, I find myself driving a lot and traveling and everything else, going out of town, and, I usually don't go out of town far, but, I do go on random drives, and I haven't been able to do that because I don't have a form of contact if, God forbid, something did happen. And, I go to a spinning guild meeting. Well, I ended up getting lost on the way to the spinning guild meeting, and I didn't have a cell phone. So I'm sitting there driving back and forth, looking up and down the street, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm in the middle of nowhere because it's at somebody's farm. I have no form of contact because I don't have a cell phone. So I can't even, like, call my husband, who does have a smartphone on him, call him and be like, I'm at such and such cross intersection. Can you look it up on your map and give me directions to this location? I couldn't even do that. And it took me probably about 20 minutes of driving back and forth. I was about to give up. Finally, I found it. And it was just a little itty bitty mailbox that had her number on it. And I'm like, oh my God. So, needless to say, I did finally make it to my spinning guild meeting. It was a wonderful meeting, and oh my gosh, the house was beautiful. I was just in total awe of this lady's home. It was it's an old historical home, like Civil War era and everything. So it was just like, oh my goodness, lovely. And she has like an entire cottage for her craft. She has a craft house. I mean, I was just like, oh, I'm in heaven. It was so cool. So it was a really good spinning guild meeting, and had a lot of fun and everything else, and it was a lovely day, beautiful weather. Couldn't have asked for better weather. So, my cell phone dies, so I don't have a cell phone. And then our car died, and I'm like, so we were on like a hectic rush to try to find a car. And, we're in such a tight budget that's like, oh my God, we can't find a car. We found one that we fell in love with. We took it out for a test drive. When we got back from the test drive, the car salesman came out and said, it's sold. We had never had that happen to us before. And I don't know anybody who has had that happen. I was just like, oh, I was like, you got to be kidding me. He was like, I really wish I was. I was just devastated. So then we spent all week trying to find another car, and everything was, I was trying to meet that level, and I couldn't until all of a sudden he called us and he was like, I got a car, but you have to come look at it now. So we did. We rushed to go look at it and everything else, and got it. And long story short, we got a new car. So that, at least that is taken care of, but I'm still phoneless. I feel like I'm in the Stone Age because I'm like, oh my God, no phone. And of course there are no payphones anywhere or anything like that. So I feel so stuck and like out of the loop. So yeah, that's been going on, but on a good note, I did go to Kentucky Sheep and Fiber Festival yesterday. I was supposed to go and spin with my spinning guild. We were supposed to do that, but the weather did not work out for us, and they were supposed to have an indoor location for us as a backup, but they ended up not having one. So I took all my equipment down there and everything else for virtually nothing. But I did have a lovely time besides that. I didn't get a whole lot, but I got what I really feel I needed and I went for. So that's a good thing, right? But it was a lovely festival. I thoroughly enjoy it. And at the end of this episode, I am going to post just a very short little video clip of the festival, give you an idea and a taste of what this is like and why I love it so much. I haven't been to Rhinebeck, I haven't been to Maryland, so I don't have it something ginormous and grand to compare it to, but for what it is, I really like it. And but I will show you what I got since I'm talking about that. The first thing I got was a mug. And I'll show it to you. Isn't that cute? Look at it's a little dancing, hopping, happy sheep. It's a beautiful mug. It was handmade. I'll show you her card. It's by Polly Studios. She is in Russellville, Kentucky. I'll show it to you. Hopefully it focuses. Yep. And her stuff is just gorgeous. She does mugs. She does yarn bowls. She does all kinds of things. And I really wish I could have purchased more from her, but I finally just decided on this mug. You can find her at polystudios.com. And it was just really, she was a lovely lady. And her stuff is just gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, look at that little sheep. It's just so adorable. So adorable. And it's a right-handed mug. Usually mugs, most of them are left-handed. But this one is a left-handed. And I have a big hand. And my hand fits in this comfortably. So that's another thing that I liked about it. It has a decent-sized handle. Because I have big man hands. So I'm really looking forward to being able to use that soon. I haven't yet. I wanted to keep it all nice and pretty for you guys before I used it. So I got that. And then Unique Sheep. The Unique Sheep was there. I'll show you their card. I love her stuff. I've never purchased her stuff, but I have seen it and I've always wanted to get some. And she had this shawl on display in this yarn, and I saw it from like the other end of the barn where this fiber festival is held, and my eyes just went straight for that shawl. And I asked her, I was like, what is the pattern and what is this yarn? I said, I have to have it. I love it. And she told me it is the yarn that she needed it out of. Now, if you've never done Unique Sheep, she's known for her mini skein gradients. Look at that. And what you do, you knit 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So it turns out to be a gradient when you knit it. And this one is a lace weight, but it's more of like a light fingering. It's a heavy lace weight. It is superwash merino. I'm guessing the base is Celine, and then the colorway is Flaming Skies. I'm guessing that's how it goes. This is one of her club colorways. I guess she does clubs. I don't know a whole lot about her. But what I'm going to knit this with is called Scream, and it's a beautiful lace shawl. It's not big by any means. It's more of a shawlette, but it was just, I saw it and it hit me. I was like, I have to have that. So I'm really looking forward to getting that started. And I'll probably get put on the needles very quickly. Which I'll talk to you more about my works in just a moment. And then I was going to get one of two things when I went to the Fiber Fest. So I was either A, going to get a fleece, or B, I was going to get hand cards. I looked at the fleeces, and although there were some nice ones, they just weren't for me. They weren't exactly what I'm looking for at this time. So I passed on the fleeces, plus the prices were astronomical. I mean, it was just like, you have got to be kidding me. For a border luster fleece, somebody wanted $50 a pound, and it was like I mean, I was just like, it was like a 5-pound fleece. I was like, no way. I'm like, I don't know what you're thinking, but a border luster doesn't cost that much. I mean, I'm just like, I wouldn't pay that for like a Teeswater. I'm like, no. So, and that's how a lot of the fleeces were. I was like, mm-mm. So, I did get myself some Ashford hand cards. And because I'm going to be using these mainly for alpaca and alpaca merino blending, which are finer fleeces, I got the 120 points. And I thoroughly enjoy these. I've already, as you can see, I kind of have already done some carding with them. And so I was really happy with my purchases. That's all that I got while I was there. Like I said, I didn't get a lot, but what I did get, I'm very pleased with. So I'm very happy with how I came out of the festival. But anyways, enough rambling, and I'm sure you want to hear some more on my works in progresses and FOs and everything else. So, my first whip I want to show you. Let me pull it up on my screen. So that is my Hitchhiker. Now, this would be an FO, but I'm holding off for all of my cast-offs and everything else for May 22nd for Stash Dash. I believe I'm going to set my goal for 5K, but I'm not 100% sure yet. But I'm working for that 5K. If you don't know about Stash Dash, I'm not going to go through all the details here. All the details you can find at the Knit Girls on Ravelry. If you're interested about what it is, but it's a summer-long event. But this is all I have left of my Hitchhiker to knit. I have one tooth left. The Hitchhiker, I forgot to mention last episode. The Hitchhiker is by Martina Bam. Bam. B-H-M. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it. But it is a lovely pattern. It's a paid-for pattern. Everybody under the sun has knit one. I'm just late to the game. And it's a very easy knit. And I think that if I had done this in like a solid or semi-solid or even just kind of a gradient, I would have been kind of bored, just due to like my ADD. But because this yarn, which the yarn is Sophie Toe's Magic Ball, and the Cupcake Shop colorway. But if it wasn't in this, I think I would be really bored. But because the color changes happen so quickly, and I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta get to a new color. I gotta get to a new color. Look how far I am. I mean, it's beautiful. Like I said, I only have one tooth left, and I'm waiting to do it for the 22nd so that I can count it towards my yards of Stash Dash. But I pounded this out. I did this all in like 2 days. I just sat down and knit and knit and knit and knit and knit. I was just like, it was like an addiction. I had to get to the next color. So, I love this yarn for the fact that it really kept my interest. And it's very squishy. It's not the softest of yarns. Maybe it'll soften up after I wash it. That could be a possibility too. But I do like it. It's squishy. It's going to be nice and warm. It's a super fun knit because of the color changes. It really caught my attention, and if you get bored easily, I definitely recommend this yarn to you. Because it's like an addiction. You have to get to the next color before you put it down. But then, oh my gosh, you hit the next color, you have to reach the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And it goes like that throughout the entire project. So, very fun. I know you love it. I definitely recommend you check it out. So, that is that one. You guys have seen that. Oh my goodness. If I can zip this up without catching the yarn, that would be wonderful. Okay. Then, because of Stash Dash, I wanted to get another project started because I ran out on that one. So I cast on a pair of socks. And this is actually the first one. The second one is actually left in my car, so I don't have that one to show you. But I just started the heel on the second one. But this is, let me pull it up. Like I said, I'm prepared today. This is the Twisted Breeze socks by Leah Oakley. And she has two different options, either a zigzag or a swirl. And I'm doing the swirl where one will go in this direction and the other one will go in this direction. Just for something different. I'm really happy with these socks. They're going to be a lot of fun. The yarn, I don't know what it is. I do know it's a 75% wool, 25% nylon. It's fairly soft and everything else. It doesn't have a colorway or anything. It was actually dyed for me by somebody else. As a, oh my gosh, I'm losing my cards. It was dyed for me by, I don't want to say her name, but by somebody for a exchange. That was going on in one of my groups. So, and I did the Fish Lips Kiss heel. I've never done that heel before, but I have tried this sock on so many times. I love this heel. It fits really well. So I'm really excited for this sock to get off the needles. And then I did something a little bit different that was in this pattern that made me want to knit this pattern. It is a free pattern. So I'm not giving anything away. But it's like this ribby stuff for right where your arch of your foot is. And it helps gather it up just a little bit. Because way how my foot goes, my arch sits like that. Okay? And like, let's say that this is my heel. I mean, it like sticks out. You have my really extreme arch. And then you have my toes. So usually on most socks, they just go straight across like that. So I have this like loose pocket that just annoys me. It just doesn't feel snug and right. Well, what this does with this ribbing is it causes the sock to suck up against the foot better, and it forms against your foot better. So I'm really anxious to get these off, because I have tried this on multiple times, and it seems to be working really well. I only have the toe left to knit on this one, and then I have just started the heel for the fish lips on my second one, but like I said, I forgot that in the car. I've been taking it everywhere with me. So I have that for Stash Dash going. My vanilla socks, I still have not knit the heel, even though it's come at, Laura from the Knit Girls has come out with it. I'm just waiting for Stash Dash to actually knit those. So when I do that, I'll show it to you. So be prepared for next episode having loads of FOs. That's knitting wise. My vacation pie shawl, I've only knit like one row on. So it's not even worth showing you. And then I do have some spinning. I'm telling you guys, I've been like a mad woman getting these whips ready. This is, I have 8 ounces of it. This is another 4 ounces. It's from Hello Yarn Fiber Club, April 2013. I got on a D-stash. It's the colorway is Cave Dwellings, and it's her 80% merino, 20% Tessa silk. And it's beautiful browns and peaches and blues and golds, and it's really pretty. But I have 1 single and 2 singles of the first 4 ounces spun up. So I will apply these when Stash Dash starts, so that will count towards my yardage. Telling you, I'm going to hit it this one. Last time I was like so close. I was so upset. And then I'm spinning that on my kiwi. But then on my Kromsky, I have a major project going on. I'll let that load up for a moment. I have a picture of it because it's on my wheel and I don't like taking a project off of my wheel that's right in the middle of working on it. I just don't like it. I know you can, it's just something that I don't like to do. But I will show you what it is. It is Lisa Souza. Again, I have 8 ounces of this. The colorway is Augustine, and it is 50/50 merino silk. There's Augustine. Okay. And it's gorgeous golds, wines, and purples. Colors turning out actually really true. That's very true to what it is. And how I'm spinning this is I'm spinning the gold, and then I'm spinning the wine, and then I'm spinning the purple. So I am splitting up the fiber, and I'm doing a 2-ply. So here's my second single of the 4 ounces I'm going to do that I'm going to split. I still have to split it. I've split my first half. But I will show you a picture of what it is looking like currently. If you'll let me pull it up. Let's see here. Yeah, there we go. Hopefully it shows. Yeah, you can see that fairly well. So if you can see, it is very fine. There we go. So you can see golds, and I'm on the wine right now. I'm almost done with the wine. I'm about to put on the purple. And I'm going to 2-ply this. And my goal is to have a 2-ply lace weight. That's my goal. I am spinning it very, very fine. And it's going slower. I'll probably be working on it for some time. Because I am spinning it so fine, it's taking much longer. That's why I went ahead and put my old flyer back onto my kiwi so I can keep my interest and work on other projects while I'm working on this one, on the Kromsky. So I have all those whips going on. I would have FOs for you, but like I said, I'm waiting for Stash Dash. I did want to show you all, I started having my daughter, she loves working, petting my fleeces, and she really wants to get involved in it in any way that she can. And she saw me sitting at my wheel working on something, and I just pulled something off. In fact, I had just pulled this off of my wheel, and she was like, "Mommy, I want to make yarn." So I was like, okay. So I put a new bobbin on and just threaded an extra long leader through the orifice, and I let her sit down, and there she is. And she's so cute when she does it. She could definitely tell that she watches me when I'm doing it, because she was doing the same motions. I'm an inchwormer when I spin. And inchworming means, or it's also short forward draw, they're both the same thing. And what that means is that I hold my fiber supply in one hand, and then I take my other hand and I do this motion as I'm spinning. Well, you can tell that she watches me because she was doing that exact same motion. It was adorable. And she, even in school, she put, we recently had Mother's Day here in America, and she put on her little paper from school saying, "My favorite thing to do with mommy is to make yarn." I mean, I loved it. So, or it wasn't make yarn, but it was play with yarn. I like to play with yarn with mommy. So, it was super cute. I loved it. Lots of fun. And I do kind of hope that she gets into it like I do. I mean, I'm not going to push it, but if she wants to sit down and play on my wheel, that's perfectly fine. If I don't have something on there, she can play with it. She's really good. And, the Kiwi is kind of, it's a rough and tumble wheel. I mean, it can take some abuse. Even though she's really good with it. She's not abusive with it. It's just, 3-year-old, they can sometimes get a little bit rough. And the Kiwi definitely holds up to it. If you're looking for a good hardy wheel. So, that is all the whips I have to show you, and all my stash enhancements, even though there's not a whole lot. I mean, like I said, I didn't buy a whole lot, but I was very happy with what I came out with. I mean, my goal was to get either cards or a fleece, and I came home with cards, so I'm really happy now that I can actually finish processing my alpaca fleeces I purchased, and get them spun out. So, I hope you all have a wonderful 2 weeks. Oh! Scratch that. I do need to speak to you guys about something. I am a little unsure as to how when my next episode is going to be. Because in 2 weeks, at least I believe so. Yeah, I'm a little bit questionable because roughly in about 2 weeks, I'm going to be going to California for 2 weeks. So I'm going to try my hardest to get an episode out before then. I'll put a note up in the announcements thread of whether it's going to happen or not. But I'm going to really try to get it up for you. If I don't, my next option will be to try to get one out in California. And if I do one there, it will be very short. Because I'm not sure how my internet access will be. But, so hopefully I'll have one out for you guys in 2 weeks, right before I leave for California. If I don't, I will have one out when I am out there. But I'm still thinking of recording for you guys while I am out there. Maybe I'll be at the beach. Who knows? Maybe it'll be, I don't know. But I think I may still try to record just a little bit while I'm out there as a, just something different and fun, and just, just a little interest. I don't know. So I did want to include that. And my camera is about to die, which I gotta figure that out. It was on full charge and now it has 1 bar. I'm like, I know I haven't been recording that long. Battery really seems to be draining way too quickly. But anyways, I hope you all have a wonderful 2 weeks. And I would love to see you all spinning and knitting and everything else. And once again, if you guys want to see a tutorial, let me know. I did have one person request a tutorial, and I am working on that. And I've been working on that right now. And so that will be out in my next podcast. Here at home. It'll be out in my next podcast at home. I'll say that. So, hope you all have a wonderful 2 weeks, and see you all later.
when I take my dog in real mad that that's what they're doing to my dog? Oh, is it?
Huh?
Is that what they're doing to my dog when I bring him in real mad?
So we just get shit once a year. So it'll take all winter for it to grow. And
Yeah.
Instead of Googlewood or something like that. I don't see where it could not happen sometimes.
You get some stores of corn in there.
Oh, there's the corn.
Oh, yes, I do. Before they reach in there and grab a mouthful of the hang over top of the other, they looking at something else. That's how it gets in there.